writing of it is called Khat Usmani, Usmani calligraphy. And all the Ummah agrees now that no one is allowed to change even the calligraphy of the Quran. We are not allowed to change it. The reason is, take a very simple example, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Try to go back to your memory and think how the word Bismillah is written in Quran. You will find it, go back to the Quran, you will find it as Ba, Sin, Mim. Whereas really, in the Arabic language, if you want to write with the name of, on the name of, starting with Ba, the word is Ism, Alif, Sin, Mim, so you have to put Ba, Alif, then Sin, Mim, Bi Ismi, with the name of. But you will find it in this Quran, we are missing that Alif. And it says Bismi. But if we write it in any other form, for example, I want to say about someone else with the name of this, so I would say Bi Ismi. That's the writing they used, Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in used at that time, and we have to keep it the way they wrote it. And there are many other words that are written in similar way in Quran al-Kareem. We have to keep them in the same form, the way those people wrote it. Making the changes now to write it in the way we think it's pronounced is not allowed, and the whole Ummah agreed on this point that changing it is not allowed anymore. Mus'haf Usmani has to remain because Ijma' al-Sahaba and the Ijma' of the whole Ummah that this is how this Quran has to be written. At that time when they wrote the Quran, it did not have the dots in it. For example, there won't be a dot under the Ba. For Ta, they won't have 2 dots on top of it. For Tha, they won't have the 3 dots on top of it. Sheen, they won't put the dots. How would people read it? We got to realize, Arabs, they use, for non-Arabs, there is a word they use it. If you recall, that word is Ajam. You know what does the word Ajam means? Ajam means a person who cannot speak just like animals. This is exactly what this word means. People are Ajam means they don't know how to speak. They don't have a language. So Arabs call everyone else, and they used to call everyone else Ajam, that these people don't have a language. Comparing to our languages, this is a language? To tell you the truth, forget about the Arabic language. When I look at the English language comparing to the Urdu language, it's really Ajam. It's not a language. There's so many words over there, you can never find the proper match for those words. You have to say at least 4 or 5 words in order to express the feeling of one word you get it from Urdu or Arabic language. So this is why they used to call non-Arabs Ajam. And that word now is used for non-Arabs all the time. Quran uses وَلَوْ جَعَلْنَاهُ قُرْآنًا أَعْجَمِيًّا لَقَالُوا لَوْلَا فُصِّلَتْ آيَاتُهُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, if we would have revealed this Quran into a Ajami language, which means in non-Arabic language, the objection of those people would have been لَوْلَا فُصِّلَتْ آيَاتُهُ. Fassala means to open up something, to make it clear. Why these ayahs are not clear? You can't even understand what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is trying to say if it was in any other language other than Arabic. You won't get the right feeling and the right meanings of the ayahs. So Allah chose that language because of the importance of that language and the depth of the language. The real message that Quran is revealing could never be expressed and revealed in any other language. Allah Himself says that people would always object if this Quran was in any other language, but people would have said that we can't understand what He's trying to say. لَقَالُوا لَوْلَا فُصِّلَتْ آيَاتُهُ. Why the ayahs are not clear? This is why He said I revealed it in Arabic. So I was mentioning these people never used to put dots. Why? This is part of that. They were so proud of their language. They were so excellent in that language. Their whole energy was used for getting better into their languages. This is why if we look into the history, we find always the competitions at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and in the days of Jahiliyyah, their competitions was who can speak a better language and who can say better poems. This is why when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the time he received the Quran and the revelation started, at that time and before that, they had some poems that were hanging on the Kaaba. Poems hanging on the Kaaba. Why? Because those poems were so high in the language that they thought they are worthy of keeping on the house of God. That no one can make anything similar to this, and this is the greatest challenge for them. This is the most important and the best field to them. Those poems, up to this day, they do exist in the form of a book called As-Sab'a al-Mu'allaqat. Sab'a means seven. Allaqa yu'alliqu means to hang something. Sab'a al-Mu'allaqat, the seven hanging poems, which means those that were hanging on the wall of the Kaaba. Do you know when those poems were taken off the Kaaba? When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam went and put Inna a'tainaka al-Kawthar on the wall of the Kaaba, and he said, bring something similar to this. Those people went and pulled all of those poems away and ran away. That we can never bring anything comparable to this. All of those poems were taken away. Now Inna a'taina is hanging on the wall of the Kaaba. So those people, they used to say, كثرة النقط في الكتاب. There was a saying in Arabic. كثرة النقط في الكتاب سوء ظن بالمكتوب إليه. If you have too many dots in a writing, you're writing a letter to someone and you put too many dots in there, simply means you are doubting the knowledge of the person who's going to read it. That this person is ignorant, he doesn't know what he's going to be reading, therefore he needs the dots in order to read. Otherwise, there shouldn't be any need to have dots. This was their theory. That you should know by reading whether this is ba or this is nun. Whether you should have a dot on the bottom or on top. You should know it by reading it. We will never know it. But their language was so high that they used to say, if you need the dots to read the letter, you are ignorant. Imagine some of the letters that they used to write. I just remember a beautiful example of that. During the time of one of these Khulafa Umayyin, the Khalifa asked a person to write a letter to his friend. His friend have done something against the Khalifa and ran out of the country. He escaped from the country. And he had a friendship with a person who was close to the king. So the king asked him, he said, write a letter to him, inviting him back to the country and tell him that we won't do nothing to him. So he wrote a letter to him. Of course, the king is asking him and ordering him, and he made him write the letter in front of him, and then he would send it with his own man that can get to that person before any other letter can get to him. So he wrote the letter in front of the king. And then he said, Insha'Allah, I will be looking forward to see you. And when he put Insha'Allah, he put tashdid, shadda. He put the shadda on top of the noon. Insha'Allah doesn't have a shadda on top of the noon. It will be Inna Sha'Allah. That's wrong. But he put the shadda there. And he sent the letter. The friend sent him the letter back saying that I will be coming soon, and I was very happy to hear that the king is pleased and he's not going to be hurt me anymore. So I really look forward to come back and see my family. And inna, he puts the alif after noon. Inna sha'Allah, I will be coming very soon. That's wrong. Inshallah, he added alif after noon. So this man added shadda and that man added alif. king reads the letter and he's very happy that soon he will be coming, and this friend knows that, okay, I conveyed my message and is not coming. How? He says, I have conveyed my message and my friend is not going to come. He knows it. Why? When he put the shadda on the noon, he's referring to an ayah of Quran telling him, إِنَّ الْمَلَأَ يَأْتَمِرُونَ بِكَ. There is an ayah in Quran, Musa alayhi salatu was salam. A man came to Musa alayhi salam when he punched that other man, and that man died. So one of the people came to him and he said, إِنَّ الْمَلَأَ يَأْتَمِرُونَ بِكَ لِيَقْتُلُوكَ. These people are planning to kill you. So this shadda is referring to inna, that's in that ayah. So that person got the message and he wrote it back, Inna sha'Allah, I will come very soon, is referring to another ayah of Quran that says, Inna lan nadkhulaha, I will never come back. Is referring to that ayah. So just references by shadda, by alif. Inna sha'Allah, I will come very soon, and by that alif is telling him, I'm referring to that ayah that says, Inna lan nadkhulaha, I will never enter that town. This is how great they were in that language and how mastered they were in that language. And up to now we have many of those long khutbahs, poems. You read them from top to bottom, you read them from bottom to top. You will be reading the same thing, the same exact words and same exact message. You start from top, start from bottom, whichever way you want. They have long khutbahs, one word with a dot, another word without a dot. Professionals in the language. They have long khutbahs that no letter at all with any dot. A whole khutbah, every letter is only with dots. Will not use any letter that does not have a dot. This is how they were. Professionals in that language. So this is why they did not need those dots in Quran al-Kareem at that time. So finally, during the time of Ali Radiyallahu Anhu, he realized that now we really need these dots because we have conquered many other countries and those people will need to read the Quran. So Ali Radiyallahu Anhu asked a person called Abu al-Aswad al-Du'ali. He asked Abu al-Aswad al-Du'ali to put the dots in Quran al-Kareem. So he put the dots there. So now we can tell Umar Radiyallahu Anhu is standing with his idea of compiling the Quran. That was the first step. Abu Bakr Radiyallahu Anhu compiles the Quran. This is the second step. Third step, Usman Radiyallahu Anhu compiles the Quran in the form of one book. And the fourth step, Ali Radiyallahu Anhu putting the dots in the Quran. All four Khulafa are getting involved in it. Finally, after that, there was a need of putting the vowels also in Quran, Fatha, Kasra, and Dhamma. And it's very amazing, but at the same time, when we look at the history, you can tell that it's normal. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses every type of people for the service of deen, that the person who put the vowels in Quran or who ordered these vowels to be put in Quran was Hajjaj bin Yusuf. A person who killed many Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'een, including Abdullah bin Umar radiyallahu anhu, the son of Umar radiyallahu anhu. He killed many great tabi'een. Hasan Basri rahmatullahi alayhi used to say that if all the nations in the world will bring the most tyrant people and bring a group of tyrant people they have in their history, and they will bring them to us, and we will just bring Hajjaj bin Yusuf, one person, to compare with all of those people, we will have a better person, a more tyrant ruler that history have ever seen, and that will be Hajjaj bin Yusuf. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used him for this also. And he's the one who got all of these vowels put into the Quran. Fatha, Kasra, Dhamma, all of these are put by him. And subhanallah, we don't know how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to be judging on Quran the day of judgment. This is only him who knows how to judge. with all of those Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in on one side of the skull, that he killed all of these people. And with this, all of this Quran being recited till the day of judgment on the other side of this skull, it's only him who can judge. But this is, in brief, some steps that those people took in order to make this Quran be readable for all of us. And this is how we have it in this form today. Of course, there are some more details about the orders, how it was revealed, and then what is the order now, how did we get this order from. But this is another subject. Inshallah, some other time we will talk about this. Now, inshallah, we'll be going back to our main subject that we were talking about, our ancestors, and we were talking about Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq Radiyallahu Anhu. And in this regard, we talked about how the Quran was compiled during the time of Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq Radiyallahu Anhu. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide all of us to Surat al-Mustaqim, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give all of us tawfiq to benefit from this Quran and to follow the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, follow the sunnahs of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين والمسلمات وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.